Good morning. It's Melissa with Build a Better Bakery. Yay for you for being here today for this session. I think you're really going to enjoy the subject today. We are going to be talking about, are you attracting difficult clients? And if you are, I'm going to name 3 different kind of like strategies, tips that you can do to change that for yourself, because nobody needs a difficult client. We can kind of protect ourselves from them and just kind of deter them from trying to work with us, which will lead to just a better overall situation for you and your business. So again, I'm Melissa with Build a Better Bakery. If we've not met before, I should let you know that our mission is to create an environment where baking business can be simple for you. That's what we want to do as a team. Our team of 3 military spouses work consistently to mentor bakers all over the globe. So we've got people sprinkled all over the world, mostly in the US, but you don't have to be in the US to work with us. And what we do is we help them envision, start, and manage their businesses so they can experience fruitful and joyful futures in the baking industry. And we're here so you don't have to do this alone. That's our main mission. Now go ahead and throw up a hashtag replay if you're viewing this on the replay. I just want to make sure that I am live and people can hear and see me today. Perfect. Okay, here's Jessica. She's here with the hashtag live. So if you ever see me live, throw up your hashtag live so that I know that you are around. Now, today's topic, as I mentioned, is about difficult clients. We may be accidentally attracting them. So I want to talk a little bit about that and how to avoid them in the future so you can set up a business that doesn't cater to difficult people, and you can start working with more ideal clients who respect you and want to be around you and trust you to do your job. Now, if you've been baking for 6 months or more, baking for profit, for sale, right? Likely you have had a difficult client yourself. They're all different, shapes and sizes. Some of them are very, very difficult. Some of them are just slightly difficult. Sometimes it's the same person over and over. Sometimes it's individual people. These people can be demanding, hard to communicate with, which is a big one, and seemingly impossible to please. You might be, if you have a person like that in mind, go ahead and comment yes, or I do, or I have that person. I want you to imagine how that situation went with them. So when I cover the next 3 tips, you can think about, okay, maybe I could have done that different, or I can switch that so that next time, hopefully this doesn't happen again, right? Now, these clients are generally attracted to certain business aspects, which is why we're talking about this today and pointing it out right on the nose so you know that what can be fixed, what can be changed so that these difficult clients don't necessarily want to work with you again, okay? All right. Jessica, yes. Bev, hi, no worries. I was actually a couple minutes late today too. My computer wasn't allowing me to share the video, but I got it to work. Hey, Olantha, good to see you. Okay. So let's hop in. I should mention also, to stay in the know about these lives, you can check the events. I usually post a day or 2 before what the topic's going to be, but I'm always here at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Thursdays. If I'm available to be here, I am here. So the time doesn't change, the day doesn't change. You'll know that for sure. The topic is announced a couple days before. You can send me a friend request on this platform on Facebook to Melissa Fryer. Then it will be able to spit an invite to you when the event is made. You can hang out on our free email list. I send out replays to these events. So you'll see a replay. You won't be coming live, but you'll be able to see the content, and other resources get sent out on the email list too. It's a good place to be if you like to have all that information compiled without having to be on social media all the time. So those are the ways you can get information. All right, number 1, let's start with expectations. This is one of my favorite topics. I cover it a lot in the Elite program because I think setting expectations as a business owner is basically your number 1 job. Now, I often see clients who become difficult. They didn't start off being difficult, but they become difficult when they are put in a position that expectations were not clearly defined by the business owner, and they're going through the transaction with the business owner, and now they're being forced to set an expectation. So sometimes a difficult client wasn't actually going to be a difficult client until they're put in a really weird position, okay? Now, examples would be a person, maybe something happened and something happened with the order. It wasn't what they wanted. It was the wrong thing. It was ordered, it delivered late, something that maybe a service provider didn't do correctly. Okay. And now they're telling you when they should get a refund, how they should get a refund, what it should look like. Or maybe, it's the day of the order's due that day, and they're demanding changes to the order and they don't understand why you're not doing it. So it's possible that likely the client was not given this information clearly before placing their order. And that's our job. And now they're trying to set the expectations because they were coming into an agreement with a service provider without being given the rules first. So they're kind of writing the rules. So they seem demanding, but it's possible they didn't understand what they were getting involved in from day one. Sometimes I understand, sometimes they do, and they are just being difficult, but sometimes they don't, and they're just trying to get things right. So likely a client's expectations will not totally match what you would like. Right? When someone feels like they are deserving of XYZ, likely it's going to be more than what you probably would have suggested in a mutual agreement before the transaction happened. So that's where this push and pull of being upset about what clients want and what they're demanding, that's where it's off balance, because they're asking for more than they probably would have been given. Like, you probably can't change an order the day it's due, right? Give me at least a week. Anytime before that's fine, right? So you're setting a realistic expectation first, then they follow through. But if there was no expectation, what are they supposed to do, right? And they don't understand what we do. They probably don't bake every day, decorate every day, package stuff up. They don't understand how it works. So yes, their expectations are going to be pretty high because they don't get it, right? And that's not their fault. So it makes a difficult situation when we do not give the expectations first. But there's an easy way to fix this one, guys, like super easy. You could do it today if you wanted to. You are going to create a business relationship that's based on a comprehensive contract. That, I know contracts sometimes seem scary, but all you're doing is making a big list of expectations that follow along with how you want to run your business, what's reasonable for you and the client. It's protective for them and for you. So it's a good thing. It does take a little bit of time to write up your own. We have one in the shop that's comprehensive that you can use for a small order all the way up to $1,000 wedding orders, whatever it is you sell, it's going to cover it, and you can change it to fit your business. So it's ready to go there. You can make your own, but it is something that you can literally do and set up today. And at the end of the day, it is your job. That's part of your job as a business owner, is to set realistic, respectable expectations of what it's like to work with you from the day you meet them. So it's not something you kind of like throw at them before they order. It's not something that you show them after they place their order. It's something that they can have access to the moment they start thinking about working with you. So how does ordering work? How does the payment system work? What happens if there's a problem? It's all laid out. Now it can be easily solved with just the comprehensive contract that I talked about. You can talk to people back and forth sharing this information, but I suggest getting it into a document format or a PDF format that maybe you're making on Canva, so that they can have it and look at it and they don't have to read through a conversation. It'll take you a few minutes, but get that put together so you have that to hand over to them. Now, this is something you can post on your ordering page, on your social media. You can share the link if you have an active URL to it, so they can see it before any money changes hands. You want them to understand exactly what's going to happen before you have their money. And then you let the customer decide if these expectations are going to work for them. That's their choice. So your job is to write it and present it, and their choice is to agree or not. So they know that you have a plan, and then it's their job to self-select. If they don't like the plan, they can go somewhere else. That's okay, because these expectations will keep you safe and them safe, and you know that. And if they don't like that, then they probably would have been difficult, right? So they can just go somewhere else. So you want to set your expectations clearly, early and often, to avoid clients trying to write the rules for you, which is not their job because they don't understand your business. So you do have to do that. All right, number 2. Hey, Tamara. Hi, Tiana. Good to see you. Hey, Therese. Okay. Can we join via Zoom? No. So this is just streaming live into the Facebook group, so the whole of Facebook group can see it. I am not going to bring anyone into Zoom because it's going to be recorded and sent out. So, but are things like group coaching in the Elite program, private coaching, and any of our mini workshops, those are on Zoom to where we can come in and chat together, okay? Hey, Shantae. All right. Number 2, we're going to look at commitment. So the first was expectations. The second is commitment. Clients who are committed are your best clients. They trust you and they're ready to work together right away. You don't have to convince them. You don't have to feel like you're dragging them along. You don't have to try to get payments every day. They're not responding to you. You can't get any information out of them. This is difficult. That takes a lot of your time, and that really, your job is not to chase them, right? They should be willingly committed to working with you to get that part finished so that then you can go and create the product for them. So the clients that are ready and willing to do what it takes to work with you are the ones that we're looking for, and anyone else is not committed. So if you have uncommitted clients, they may be singling you out and coming to you because they know they don't have to commit. Some people like to shop around. They literally just pretend like they're going to buy something from you and then never buy it. I literally had someone, she sent me an email. She commented on a post and she sent me a DM on my business page asking to buy something. This happened to me 2 days ago. Okay. I told her, I set the expectations. I said, you may buy this product. You have to have the order placed by tonight, or else I cannot make the product for you, because I was baking it the next day. So I set an early expectation. I told her when it had to be ordered by. I sent her a link directly to the website with the contract information already on the website, the information about the product. She would enter her information there, hit submit, pay for the product. I would have the order. She never did it. So she reached out 3 different ways. I gave her information on 3 different platforms and she still did not place the order. But it is not my job to continue to bother her to ask her to place the order, right? I gave her the info, the ball's in her court, then we move on, right? She decides if she's committed or not. So what you can do is you can demand that they commit or move on. And that is your job. So not to chase them, but to show how do they commit, and then the ball's in their court. Because it is absolutely not your job to wait around. It's tiring, it's painful, and it is not worth it. Because I've been there. I've chased people all over the town. I've waited days and days and days. I've held on to orders that people didn't pay for. It is not worth it. So to help clients commit fully and early, you can require a full payment before booking. You don't pay me, you don't get the spot. That's just the way it is. You don't pay me, you don't get the product in full. You can also, if you do a lot of quoting, you can leave quotes active for only 24 hours. So I'm going to quote you. I will hold your date for 24 hours. You have 24 hours to pay me in full. If you do not, then I'm deleting all of this, right? You're giving them a chance to commit. And if they don't want to commit, that is their choice. You can always resubmit another quote later if you need to. Additionally, making sure to gather all the information when booking via an order form, something they're filling out, a phone call, whatever it is you need to do, gathering all of it at time of booking so it can reduce any extra communication during this ordering process to be collected. You don't want to have to do that. So make sure you know when is pickup, how many servings, all the flavors, the design, have all of that information before they pay. So you're not dealing with a partially filled in booking that has payment on the books, because then you're going to be chasing these people to get the information. So make sure all of that comes in before they pay you, and then you'll just set to go. You don't have to worry about dealing with the customer interaction again, unless they have a question or they want to reach out to you. But normally it's very solid. Once you have all the info, you don't have to continue to communicate through the creation process. Now you want to make working with you easy and fun. So say their name a lot. Start to create a business relationship with them. Be mindful of, really listen to what they're saying. If they have a concern, if they're sick, if something's happening, give grace, right? Try to be as helpful as you can. Keep the boundaries, keep the expectations, but make it fun and easy. That could be an example of maybe automating processes. So have an automated payment process that's simple for them to use, something that's common, maybe a card invoice, or a couple of the maybe 1 or 2 digital payment options they could use that would be easy for them. Maybe create a simple website so they can easily browse your products or purchase on your website, and just make it so they don't have to be put out to work with you. You will see that their commitment will be faster if they can easily pay you and they can easily understand what it is that you offer. Make sure to follow up with communication promptly until all payments are made and the booking is solidified, or the product has been purchased and that is solidified. Because if you forget to respond to someone for a couple of days, they're going to lose that commitment. They're going to lose that trust to you. So until everything is solid with that one order from start to finish, try to stay promptly connected to them through communication until that happens. Okay. Just make sure. You are so welcome. I'm glad you feel it's educational. I'm really excited about this topic because I see a lot of people talking about difficult client communications, asking questions. How do I deal with X? How do I deal with Y? And I think it's good that they're asking how to deal with it, but I'm more interested in helping you avoid it altogether. So I'm glad you feel it's educational. If you have any other thoughts of what you want to see in the group, I know we're starting up the workshop soon again, the mini workshops, but I'm always happy to take suggestions for these live sessions that I do weekly. So just let me know. Bev says my oven doesn't get turned on without full payment. Yep, 100%. So it's just about commitment, right? It's like, I'm going to commit to you and you can commit to me fully, and then we work together, right? Like, it shouldn't be a one-sided relationship. And I agree with you. I'm exactly the same way. My quotes are only good for 24 to 48 hours, depending on how soon or far the booking date is. I've done 4-hour deadline for a rush order. Absolutely. Yeah. Anything rush, like I usually give them, depending on when I'm making, whatever it is, till the end of the day. So I'm going to wake up in the morning, and if your payment isn't in my inbox, then we're not doing it. Right? Like, yeah, for sure. I'm glad you feel that way, Bev. Thank you. Oh, didn't know they were weekly. I have to go back. Yeah. So I like to pin the their Thursday fave sessions, hashtag Thursday fave session. You can search that way in this group and you'll see a bunch of videos come up. I also pin them on the very top in the featured. I put most of them up there. And then I upload some of the best ones into the YouTube channel as well. If you don't want to be on Facebook and you just want to watch content there, you can also see a lot of the videos there. So yeah, weekly for sure. Last week I had to take my pets to a vet that was a couple hours away, so I couldn't be here, but it's usually every week. All right, let's move on to number 3. We're going to talk a little bit about pricing. So I'm not going to teach you how to price today because that's a completely different subject, but I want to talk about how this is important to attracting ideal clients and deterring those hard to please demanding clients. If you're currently charging bottom level pricing, if you look around your community and you notice I'm like the second to last, I'm the cheapest person, I mean, you know me, pricing is very particular. I have a whole 5-part formula to come up with pricing. Your pricing is not going to be the same as someone else. But if you're selling a cupcake and they're selling a cupcake and their cupcake is $5 and your cupcake is $1, we know there's a lot of problems with that $1 cupcake, but specifically, if you're kind of in the bottom level pricing right now, for whatever reason, I will tell you that you are likely to encounter more difficult clients because of your pricing. You might think, well, I have to do that to sell. No one will buy from me if I don't. There might be all of these what ifs and excuses to not want to raise your pricing, but I just want to point out that the lower your prices are, the more difficult clients are going to come your way. Now, it seems counterintuitive, but when we look at buyer psychology, there's a whole session of this in the Elite Mentorship Program. There's a whole mini training on buyer psychology. When we look at it, one aspect is that people value products that they pay more for. And I know you're kind of like, weird, but that's just how our brain works. So when a person values a product more before purchasing it, because you've put value-based pricing on it, just not rock bottom pricing, value-based pricing, they're going to likely be more satisfied overall. Same product, same interaction. It's the fact that it costs more that tells their brain that it's more valuable, meaning they are going to enjoy it more before they ever even touch it. So that means in their minds, that trust that we've been talking about, they are inherently trusting you more than they would have if it was dirt cheap. And they'll likely be more satisfied with the purchase because of the feeling of value. So low prices invite more haggling and distrust of your product. And it has nothing, literally nothing to do with what you're making. It has to do with the value, inherent value you're placing on the product with the pricing. So it's going to result in lower quality interaction with your clients and attracting people who are interested in having lower quality interactions. And some of us might think, why would anyone do that? But we know people are dramatic. People are bored. People sometimes look for these options. They aren't willing to spend more to have that interaction. So they buy something cheaply and then they create that interaction. And I know that's like, whoa, but that is part of selling a cheap product. So the lower the prices you have, more invitation for criticism, more invitation for demanding client. So note, because I said I'm not going to talk about pricing specifics today, note that comprehensive pricing includes more than materials and labor. So if you're coming up with your lower prices with those two numbers, it's likely because you're missing 3 or more categories of where your pricing actually needs to be profitable, and value-based needs to have included in it. So if you want the full rundown of the 5-part formula I use and teach, or if you want to take the actual pricing for profit course, you do not have to. If you want me to walk you through it, you can. It is an option. It's just a course out on Teachable that you can enroll in. You can get the numbers in order for yourself and figure out what's going on with that. You can DM me. You can comment pricing here. What I can send you is 2 articles on our blog that talk about different aspects of pricing that I think would be good information for you to have. And then there's listings on the bottom for the course. If you think you want to be walked through the process, that's on there too. Or you can just read the articles and get a feel for what I'm talking about. So when it comes down to it, great client interactions are about trust. That's really the basis of, do you trust each other? So help your clients trust you by providing them with a protective contract, which is about you and them. It's going to protect everybody. You can ask for commitment in return for their commitment. So you're sharing commitment. You are providing attentive communication, and you're respecting your industry, those around you, and everyone involved in the baking world with value-based pricing to raise the value, inherent value of what you're doing for your community. I did want to mention too, if communication is hard for you, which likely some of you watching this because you have difficult clients, you don't know how to talk to them, you don't know how to fix situations when they go a little bit south, you're trying to figure out how to say certain things. If communication is hard, likely you could use a deep dive. I'm going to call it a mini course. It's a set of sessions that we did inside the Elite Mentorship Program. It's all recorded and ready for you to view. Plus you can ask me questions as you're going through it. It covers one of my favorite books and exercises that I created based on the book, which is called Crucial Conversations. So that's a book you can find lots of places, including Amazon, and I can just send you a link for it if you want to look at it. It is so important for any business owner to read this, and honestly, it helps you in your regular life too. So if you ever come to situations where you're feeling like you can't have a difficult conversation, reading Crucial Conversations is super important. It is a well-renowned book, even in like the corporate world. A lot of people get asked to read that book before they start working for corporations. So definitely give that one a look. Okay. Okay. Therese, are you talking about, from your commenting, are you saying you need the pricing? I think that's what you mean. You can let me know. Just send me a message or comment here that it's the pricing information you want to see. Oh, Bev, yay, you like the course. It is, I'm glad you think it's comprehensive too. I put a lot in there and I was like, is this too much? Is this like too many pricing topics? But I feel like you need to know it. You know what I mean? Like the taxes and the transitions and everything like that. I think it's important. Okay, yes, I will get with you in just a minute when I get off here. Okay, tomorrow, yeah, I'll send those articles to you too in just a second. Okay, so it's great to see you all today. I love this topic. I'm so glad that you're interested because I want to do what I can to help you make this better, because the difficult clients will always be there, but you can kind of situate yourself to where they don't want to work with you and they don't want to try to work with you. So these are the 3 that I've used and have just really super helped to help people self-select if they want to get in it with me or not. And usually they decide not to, specifically because I'm telling them everything I mentioned, the contract, the communication, everything that they would have to commit to, they don't want to. So that will help you get just those special sweet clients that just love you and trust you and work with you consistently. And you're creating a real relationship with them. So that's what I'm hoping can happen for you with many of your clients as well. Okay, I am off to, today's the day, guys. I'm off to start my yearly adventure into Cocoa Bomb territory. And wish me luck. I know if you've ever made them, you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to do that. And I'll be here in the group. Post your questions. Check the hashtag Thursday Fave Sessions for more videos. You can go on our YouTube channel. You can just search Build a Better Bakery, or I can send you the link for that. You can subscribe and see them there. My DMs are always open and my email is always open. So let me know if you need anything. We can chat if you'd like some mentorship. We do the group, the personalized, different strategy calls. There's lots of options we have set up to make sure you feel comfortable and you get the help you need. So I will chat with you soon. I hope you have a lovely week. Okay. Yep. I will try to have fun. Yes, I will. I'm making caramel macchiato, golden milk, and vanilla bean today. So off to do that, and I will see you all later. Bye.